Welcome to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. Join us in our campaign and shenanigans as we explore the subterranean labyrinths, plunder hordes of treasure, battle legendary monsters. This podcast will be following our gaming group and the adventures of these characters, as well as a few guests from time to time. Join us as we start a new campaign and our journey to experience the best, and maybe the worst, in the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons.
Hi, this is Kellie, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and rpgpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
I have
Are you
most of my character. I'm a functional character.
Okay.
I might be missing some abilities, but whatever.
Okay.
Good enough.
It's good enough, close enough?
Good enough for government work.
Okay, so you guys, you leveled up last time. Matter of fact, it was the last episode we just posted. With the ding and the leveling and the level ding ding. Okay, and you guys are heading back out to where you know the orcs will be coming from.
I may have missed that game, so someone better catch me.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Mm-hmm. The Bard stayed behind.
Okay.
Was it the...
And you better have more than 11 hit
She
points.
turned into goddess?
I might, and this is what my hit points was last.
Your Bard Rogue is level 3, right?
Nope.
No, I'm...
Nope, she's level 2.
You know why I'm level 2, though.
You're multiclassing.
Yes, I am.
But that means you're level 3.
That means that you're level 2 and level 1.
Yeah. So...
Are you multiclassing as a bard?
Yes.
So that you actually have bard abilities?
Yes.
Nice.
So, let's see.
So we're going to be like, why are you so behind? I don't understand.
Because I wasn't here for a while.
Oh my god.
Multiclassing, because we've never actually covered this in any of the games.
No.
So I have to be difficult.
So, multiclassing. Multiclassing allows you to gain a level in multiple classes. Doing so lets you mix your abilities of those classes to realize a character concept that may not be reflected in one of the standard class options. With this rule, you have the option of gaining a level in a new class whenever you advance in level instead of gaining a level in your current class. Your levels in your classes are added together to determine your character class. For example, you have 3 levels in Wizard and 2 in Fighter, you're a level 5 character. As you advance in levels, your primary might remain the same or become different and a member of an original class, blah, blah, blah. So, you do have a charisma of 13 or higher, correct?
I have 16.
You have no problem multiclassing in Bard, because you only needed a 13. Okay, so you gain hit points from your new class as described, so you're going to want to roll a Bard get a D8. And in your hit dice section, you want to mark that you are a 2D whatever and a 1D8. Which I think
I got
D8.
total 1D8.
I think the thief is
Is
D8
8
too.
as
The
well.
rogue is the same, which makes life easier.
Which Hunter and Cleric are also D8.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the square in the middle that says hit dice, it should say 3D8 now.
3? Okay.
3. Because that means you have 3 D8s that you can use for healing between.
Plus your Constitution modifier.
So what would be my current hit points then?
What's it say there?
It says 11.
So 11,
What's your
roll a
constitution?
My Constitution is -1, 9.
So you're going to take 1 off whatever you roll on that D8.
Roll a D8.
And you're -1.
Roll a D8. Roll a
What'd you get?
D8.
4.
So 3. So add 3 to your 11.
Okay.
Obviously, you were working on your magical skills, neglecting your physique.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
you
supposed to fight. I'm supposed to run away.
So you didn't gain very much muscle mass.
No.
So of course now that means you're a level 1 bard.
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked at what a
I
bard
thought it was
can do?
a level... Yeah, level 1 bard, yeah.
You're level
Level
2
2
rogue, a level
Yeah.
1 bard.
Yes.
Which means as a level 1 bard, you gain access to spellcasting.
Mm-hmm.
You have bardic inspiration. Would you like to tell her what bardic inspiration does since you're a bard?
Bardic Inspiration allows you to, I think it's based off your charisma modifier. How many you can do is based off of your level and your
Oh, you did. Okay, cool.
charisma modifier. So you can bestow a 1d6 on somebody that they can use towards either damage or ability rolls. And they can use it after you've rolled.
Okay.
But you have to use it before the DM rolls.
I like how you said that.
So you can say, "Hey, I know you can do it," and you give the person it, and that person now has Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
And they can choose to roll, however they want to use it,
And they get that D6 for up to 10 minutes.
Yes. And at this level, you have to do a full rest or a partial rest to get it back.
You can do equal to your charisma modifier, and you regain it when you finish a long rest.
Okay.
So charisma modifier, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were getting ahead of yourself. That's the very end of the description. And for spell casting,
So what's your charisma?
My charisma is I got a +3 and then underneath that says 16.
Okay, so +3 is your charisma modifier.
that's
So you can
16.
give it up to 3 people.
Okay.
or the same person 3 times, or yada yada.
Yeah,
So for spell casting, you are going to be using your charisma modifier. So you may want to write this down. Your spell DC is going to be 13.
Okay.
And your spell attack modifier is going to be 5.
Okay, I remember that one.
So that's +5 when you roll a d20 to attack with magic.
Do you have to have a player's handbook over there?
Spell attack modifier is what did you say?
A spell attack modifier is +5.
+5.
What does she need in the player's handbook?
You're going to need to pick...
What page are you on?
Oh, I'm on page 52, but she's going to have to pick spells from at the end. So you're going to want to pick 2 cantrips that you can take from the Bard list. These are 2 spells that you can cast all day long.
My favorite is Vicious Mockery. Vicious Mockery is a lot of fun because what happens is you basically insult something. As long as they can hear you, they don't even have to technically speak your language. Okay, as long as they can hear you. Okay, if they they have to do a charisma saving throw. Okay, if they fail it, they are negative till the end of their next turn.
Okay.
And
Where is the Bard list?
The Bard list is in the Magic section. I'll give you a page number real quick. It is, that's combat. You want to go to page 207.
207, yes.
And you're going to want to pick 4 spells from the first level's list.
So I want to choose 2 cantrips?
2 cantrips and 4 first level spells.
Okay.
Now you can only cast 2 first level spells per day, but you know 4.
Okay.
Does she have to memorize them, or is it just...
It's kind of at the beginning of the day she writes down what her spells that she knows are, and then she can just cast 2 of those 4 spells. So they've made it a lot easier than that whole... Clerics and divine types have to do that whole, they pick 4 spells every morning because they can change them as the divine.
I highly recommend you make one of those healing word in case the healer goes down.
Or the other healer goes down?
Yep.
Especially you just run over there and go, stay alive, stay alive. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Everybody stay alive.
Oh.
Okay. So as you guys, gathered your supplies up to head back to go north to head off where the inevitable orc horde will be eventually gathering its strength and coming down and massacring all the people.
As they do.
As they do. The dwarf will tell you. The dwarf's got stories.
So is that...
I was in the original Orc Wars.
Is that what we're doing? Is we're trying to prevent the orcs from amassing?
Well, you guys did realize there's something different with this orc
There's something
horde.
like...
Because the
demonic
hand prints on their faces. Something totally...
So not only are they orcs, which is pretty nasty anyways.
What are those called? The Urukai?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is basically the hopped up on demon.
Are you recording yet?
Oh yeah, we've been recording.
Okay, good.
We believe.
And one of the big things that you recall the Baron said was the whole you need to like circle the wagons and get the people in the outreaches back in. Because, you know, there's lots of people that live out in the foothills where the orcs will be coming through first, and, you know, you know what happens to them. I mean, kobolds will just steal the small and the weak. Orcs will burn and pillage and take what they can. Especially when they get their war wagons. The dwarf's sullen right now and drinking. And she's got memories of the orcs with their war wagons, which are basically these giant wagons / cages that they drag with them with spoils of war. Beautiful.
My super smart, whopping 10 intelligence wants to go and do some research and find out what the best way to attack orcs is.
Go ahead.
Before
Go ahead and give me a skill roll there. What
I
combination are you going for?
don't know.
Like history for warfare with orcs?
Sure.
Okay. You can go
I
with that.
I don't have any skill bonuses with it, but
You can try a skill. You can always try a skill.
I rolled a 10.
You think, as a gladiator, the best thing to do is to find the biggest orc
weapon.
and take the biggest orc down, and the cowards will either worship you as their leader or run away.
Like the goddess you are.
Oh, your goddess. God. Alright.
Okay? So is there any special precautions you guys are taking? Can we buy some oil for You have cash.
blowing them up
You
and
can,
shit?
you can spend your cash.
I have no idea how much money I have.
I have the group
Do you have a
tally
good
of
fund?
cash. I've been keeping track of the group funds.
But you weren't here the last couple of months.
Well,
so,
Well, I have at least up to a point group funds.
The rest has been a taxation.
As a
I'm
group,
sure the Baron will provide us with oil.
can you,
group gold, 49 gold pieces, 2 pieces of jewelry, 50 gold pieces each, 15 silver, and 4 coppers.
yeah, it's got to be more than that because we.
It's
We
more
gained
than
some.
that.
Right?
It's,
I'm just saying what I was when
Uh-huh.
I was here.
All right, so. Yeah, I think we're good there. I now have combat superiority because I chose Battlemaster for
okay.
my whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 4 superiority dice to use with special attacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which those attacks are awesome.
I chose sweeping attack, goading attack, and maneuvering attack.
Ooh. So you're all about controlling the field of battle.
That's right.
Move together, sweep!
Well, I was thinking the sweeping attack basically gives you an ability to attack another person,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, Warhammer,
Go for the knees.
sounds cool, and then goading is fight me, not the tiny little druid between my legs.
Uh-huh.
And maneuvering attack, I think, helps where we can work together and I can give bonuses to
Mm-hmm.
another combatant.
Similar to Bardish
Friendly.
Inspiration, but
Yeah.
from a
But,
hit 'em high, I'll hit 'em low.
Yeah. Which, geez, I wonder who that might work with.
Okay, so you guys basically are preparing. You're all geared up. You bought some extra flasks of oil.
I can't think of anything else specifically other than maybe replacing the caltrops that we
But you
got
Or
rid of.
steel ball bearings.
The ball bearings, yeah.
caltrops would probably be better than ball bearings.
Yeah.
For orcs, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody in the woods.
I can't think of anything
I
else.
think the druid would disagree.
The druid, a tinker.
Yeah,
And
but
if you're
animals
willing to
would hurt
spend some
themselves.
cash, I mean, there's lots of cool things you could get. You know. I mean, you can buy a flask of Alchemist's Fire. That's always awesome for 50 gold pieces.
Okay, I think I'm doing Blade Ward, so I can't be stabbed. Because I don't want to get stabbed.
There's always a basic vial of poison you can buy for 100 gold pieces.
No, that's expensive.
Okay.
I don't want to waste all our money.
and that's not honorable.
Yeah. Well, Depending on who I fought in the arena, I could have used it.
Well, I am a
Right.
cleric, so.
You grab it.
Tempest cleric.
Should I
But
just make
still.
myself like backup healer at this point?
Well, that's what Kelly was saying, is take one of those 4 spells as the heal spell.
Well, there's healing word and cure wounds. Which one should I do?
One is ranged and the other is touch.
Okay.
Cure wounds gives more, but it's you gotta touch them.
Mm-hmm.
Healing word you can do from a distance, but it doesn't heal as much.
Okay.
It's 1d6 and 1d4, right?
Yeah.
Tasha's hideous laughter.
That one is
That one's a
insanely
hoot.
powerful when someone rolls bad to the save because they're basically stuck laughing and can't do anything else but laugh.
I'm kind of.
That's what one of the vampire abilities in vampires is hysteria. It's pretty hilarious.
It happened to me once.
Well, the
Real
group
life.
actually jacked up a major villain
Yeah.
in one of our anniversary live stream games because the big bad that cast that and just slaughtered him while he's laughing.
Because he couldn't do anything.
He was like, he was hopped up on Joker gas.
What I do in a game, I make them laugh and then I sneak up behind them and gank them.
I love how she's like, and I do this.
Wait till the punchline comes.
So would you guys prefer me to have? Because I'm. What would be more useful? Do you want me to have cure wounds or healing word, or should I take both?
I have healing. So.
Yeah, you can only take one because
Okay.
there's no. I'm a cleric. She has a
Okay,
healing
so-
spell.
Cure.
don't
have
healing.
You have a healing hamlet.
Which one do you have? Healing word.
It heals.
Okay, so
us
I will
of
take the one she
problems.
doesn't have.
Cure wounds.
Cure wounds. All right, so our cure wounds. Tasha's
What does thaumaturgy do,
Ah,
by the way?
thaumaturgy's
It's really
fun.
cool.
Because
Oh, that's right, because you're
Yeah.
a tiefling. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because
You're infernal
tieflings get
power.
thaumaturgy.
I can cast thaumaturgy and hellish rebuke.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Thaumaturgy, you can actually, and this would be kind of fun because since you're a gladiator,
Mm-hmm.
you can basically boom your voice, like, what is it, 10 times louder?
Yeah, megaphone basically.
It's like, so if you were to yell and then
You can
use
address the audience easily.
you could pretty much, like,
Megaphone your voice.
Nice.
if a window or a door is open,
Unlocked.
unlocked, you can actually cause it to open or close.
Okay.
Can't slam it or anything, but you can put out a candle. You can make things change color.
Okay.
It's sort of like, it's a little like prestidigitation, but not, it's less physical.
Right. Okay.
So I saved Carrie's character's life with thaumaturgy. Literally fooled some badass, evil, what was it?
The Air Knight.
Yeah,
You all thought was a great guy until you found he was an evil cult bastard.
no, the one where it's the elf belongs to me.
Oh, the hag.
The hag.
Water
So
temple.
this in the water
Like which
temple, this
time?
heavy duty, oh no, that was fun. The other one, and convinced because I could bellow my voice from a distance
And she was
make
a
it
tiefling.
echo. Tiefling.
I
That
want to do this. But...
the elf belonged to me. It was my servant.
Do what you want to do.
No, I'm trying to find. I want stuff that will fit with the character. Is the problem. I
Yeah.
don't. Want, some of these have like when it ends, people will know you did this to them, and they will be angry. And I'm like, I probably don't want that.
You can make your eyes change color.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, one of my trinkets was just a ball with like
A snow
Smoke
globe
in
with
it?
smoke.
okay, and I'm like, what am I gonna do this? I used to make the change colors for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I took that and made this cult leader think it was a lie detector, and every time he said
Nice.
something, I would change the color. And like, oh no, you're lying.
And the worst part was she was the only one making an insight roll. Everyone else was believing this guy because he was really charismatic. And she's like, he's lying.
He's lying. So I just jumped up on the table.
And
Oh, and I'm a cleric, mind you, of a good god. I just jump up on the table, throat punch the guy, and they're all like, "What the fuck are you doing?" and then I convince him, and then they're all like, "Oh, he's lying."
Nice.
And then he proceeds to cast Misty Step out the window.
I knew I shouldn't have removed my dagger. Oh my god.
They thought they had him trapped in the office because he was at his desk. He used the spell Misty Step, which is a bonus action, to teleport out the window.
Yeah, but
Because you can also
thaumaturgy's
fly.
fine. I had fun with it.
So as you guys are proceeding to head north...
And you can make the ground shake a little.
Yeah, you can do earth tremors.
You can do little earth tremors.
See? They like your earth tremor thing. They cheer you on.
You
So you
cross
guys
plane- I just looked it up
Yeah,
on the
you can
wiki
like
app.
channels.
So you guys are heading north. And we're going to slide into the game while the bard is picking the last of her bard spells. It's okay. Take your time. Seriously, the bard's got a little magical songbook that she's flipping through that she must have stole while you guys were at the Baron's place and nobody noticed.
You don't know anything about that. I
As-
could have had it all the time.
As the druid, I'm assuming since you're the survivalist in the group, is
That's
going to
cool.
give a survival roll for setting you guys up to the right path. I mean,
We all have to do
well, no,
survival?
just the druid who's your point man. Yep. The D20? Is that D20?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
14.
14? Okay.
Plus.
14.
She rolled a 10.
Oh, okay.
So, you're guiding them pretty fairly where you pointed out on the map, because when you're at the Baron's place, he's got this giant map table that's got topography built into it and stuff. It's really cool. It's made with like clay and stuff.
Here you go. Thank you.
And you basically were shown the homesteads out there that you need to bring the people in. I mean, granted, with the Kobold earthquake threat, a lot of the people came in, but you bonifying her list of
I was
bard
just
spells?
checking to see which
What'd she take?
she
I
took.
took Vicious Mockery, Blade Warren, Cure Wounds, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Identify, and Unseen Servant.
Ooh, Unseen Servant's good.
Unseen
especially-
Servant is sweet.
Especially if you're a thief.
Yeah?
That and Mage Hand.
Yeah.
Mage Hand's a good one.
So you're guiding them up to where you're seeing, little fires and stuff way off at the horizon. I mean, where the mountains, come down to the hill lands. And you guys are being, you're having an overnight hike out there, because I'm assuming you're going cross country, right? Well, you can take roads. I mean, there's roads that can kind of get you there, but, it's a little longer. So just a little faster.
So,
Which would you do?
Objective?
To go out to where the orcs will be coming south.
Mm-hmm.
You are to go north. You are to tell the people you see, get the hell to town,
Mhm.
and you go head off the orcs. Because
Kate,
What?
don't take that with you if you're going to the bathroom.
I'm not. I'm going to sit outside.
Okay.
your dear friend the dwarf tells you all about the orcs and how the orcs normally behave. Well, why are you heading north to go fend off the orcs?
Oh, because they will massacre everything in their path. Everything will die horribly.
That's why you're heading north. So you could take the trails out there and then go kind of cross country, or you can just burn cross country. As a druid, you feel that cross country is the faster way. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So you're doing the cross country bit. You're guiding your friends through the least offensive of paths. Okay, and all of a sudden you come across the first homestead that's got some grizzly old ranger couple that are there with their small cadre of animals that are their children. And you basically, they seem to have like little parapet spikes at their front door. They seem to have fortified when the kobold threat came up. They immediately mobilized their house into a defensive position. And you see that there's like arrows stuck in the ground at random spots and little grassy knolls. So you guys come up to the homestead.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys address the homestead when you start walking up on it? Do you do the traditional "hello to the house" from a safe distance?
Yes.
Yes.
Or do you sneak up and get shot with an arrow?
I do nothing.
Okay.
I let them do the thing.
Okay, so who's going to approach first?
I will.
Meet you.
Hello, the house.
Okay, so the rest of you two are going with her?
I'm going with her. 'Cause,
Okay. So immediately as you say hello to the house, you all of a sudden hear...
Hord's blessing upon you.
You as soon as you say that, you hear this caw-caw, 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 behind you, like away from the house, and you realize that there's somebody in a little crow's nest in the tree, a little sniper spot, And all of a sudden the door opens up, and there's this old withered old guy with his long bow drawn back. And he says, "Hello, travelers."
I see you're preparing.
Well, it never hurts to be a little prepared.
Yes.
You apparently hear some laughter from inside the house.
I was like, it depends on what you're preparing for.
And he kind of looks around at you three. He says, well, preparing for guests, of course. And he keeps eyeballing the tiefling. Not quite sure what to make out of it. Maybe he hasn't seen many tieflings. But especially looking at the dwarf and the bard.
It's like,
Come on in before you catch your death of cold, or you get ventilated.
much obliged.
So are you coming in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm behind everyone.
Okay.
It's social.
Okay. So basically, he kind of like kicks one of the big poles he's got at the house, and it kind of drops down so you can easily walk over to come inside the house. And he kind of like goes over and he kind of like grabs a bundle of arrows in the making on the table and kind of like shifts them to the side to make room for you to drink. And he throws down a big ceramic mug and a couple wood cups. Sit! Wet your whistle. You look to have the dust of the trail on you.
Well, the arrows that he's making and stuff, what type of tips do they have?
Basically just stone arrows, but they're really well-made flint arrows.
Okay.
You can tell he's got really good craftsmanship with that. Carpentry is his shtick.
Because forging is mine. Like, much obliged to you. What are you shooting at?
Well, sometimes there's things in the woods that walk on 2 legs, and sometimes they walk on 4 legs. But whenever they're there, they're trouble. And that's what I've got my old girl here, and he pats his bow.
And would you be seeing any orcs?
Well, I haven't seen any orcs, but I've seen orc sign on the trails. Seems, a couple days ago, a small group of them, maybe about 4 or 5, went south of our place.
Oh.
Which, by the way, that would align with the group that you ran into.
I see you're settling in. You may want to think about pulling up stakes and moving closer to the larger community, because from what we've gathered, there's going to be a very large... Sorry, I'm too tired to do a Scottish accent. That requires a lot more thought. I didn't know if you knew. A large, very large force of orcs are going to be heading this way. We've been tasked by the Baron to round up the folks in the countryside.
You can tell he gives you this look, and it's almost like the soldier to soldier look, and the fact that you're giving it to him is the
like,
no shit look.
Like, I see you're no stranger to the art of war. Were you two in the Orc Wars?
No.
With the Baron and I.
I was but a young boy when those wars happened. I was taught to make bows and arrows, but I never actually served. I heard stories. My uncle never did come back from those days.
If it hadn't been for the Baron, neither would have I.
And all of a sudden, as he's sitting there talking, he then lets out this ear-splitting whistle. It's obviously a sign. All of a sudden, you hear like a little zip line noise of someone zip lining from tree to tree, and then all of a sudden, someone's walking up the walk. Okay, and you guys, door gets kicked open, and this like one person with their hands full kicks the door to open it up.
So the door opens with a thud instead of a...
Yeah.
It's not violent.
Yeah, it's not someone...
It's okay, it's not like...
As you see this muscular woman come in, she's like maybe 40, but it's a hard living in the woods 40, so really sunburned, wrinkly skin, hair's lost some of its color. And she comes in with a similar bow to his, only she's got a massively full quiver. And she just looks at him and beams a smile, and he immediately beams a smile back at her and says, My love, so they say we have to go into town to protect the townsfolk. Because the Baron says only your bow will protect the people as well as it should. And immediately she like beams the smile. And then she like looks at all of you guys, especially the little gnome. What does Mixie do?
She's just looking at me.
Yeah, she's just looking at you.
I observe.
So you're just staring back at her in this weird awkward silence
Uh-huh.
ensues? Okay.
Yeah.
And then she proceeds to go over to the pitcher of mead, drinks a big long draft out of it. So when are we packing up? It's about time we move on. You kind of they look at both of you like, give them directions.
I don't even know what's going on, so.
Well, you're basically telling these people to go to town for their own safety. He is obviously tricking her, saying the Baron is summoning them to defend the town, so she'll come along.
Right.
Within
sorry, go ahead.
within the, I can't remember what the soon,
Like the next day or two?
within the week.
Well, maybe a
It
little
is
sooner than a
than
week.
that. Do you know of any other folks like yourself in the area?
Oh, and he immediately goes and pulls a little, pigskin mat that he flops down, and he basically, points out the.
So, are you sure you weren't in the wars?
So here's the old dwarf cobbler, Corin. He's a funny fool. Don't go onto his property unless you mind the signs he has around his property.
Are they in Dwarven?
No, they're in pictures. Not everyone speaks Dwarven. Trust me, when you see the property, you'll understand what I'm saying. Just obey the signs. When the sign says don't step on something, you don't step on something. Trust me, it's worse than bear traps out there. And then he points over here. This is the family. They basically they practice this open hand religion. I've never really spent enough time around them to know exactly what that means, but they wrestle a lot. The kids are constantly fighting each other in a fun way. They consider it some kind of entertainment. And over here's one of the areas you're gonna have to watch out for, because we've got some local hills tribes people. They kind of stay around here only in the summer. They use it as a summer camp for when the animals are running, the herds are around there.
Yes.
But you shouldn't have to worry about them quite yet this time of year. They should probably still be in their hills. And he basically gives you this rundown with the map.
The hills that the orcs are headed from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not.
And basically he takes a few seconds looking at the map and looks at you guys and... Would you be needing to use my map?
I think it would be very useful and helpful if he would be willing to part with it.
And you know you would get advantage on survival rolls if you had the map, so you may want to speak up.
Yes. I don't like that it's pigskin, but okay.
Well, that's what stuff's made out of.
Eat.
Okay, so you guys ask for the map?
Most things at this point will be made out of vellum, which is animal skin.
Shaved very thin.
Didn't
Okay.
even make-
So he then proceeds to roll up the pigskin map, and who's going to hold it? I'm assuming you. So you take this pigskin map. It's funny because the tail is actually the wraparound. You can tell that they're huntsmen. That's what they do. Okay, so you guys have the map. They're getting ready to start packing up their belongings, their best, brewed mead. Then they start locking things down, and you can see that they've got some pits where they're going to be burying some of their belongings, and they offer you as much food as you want to carry away, because obviously they're not going to want to leave it behind to be ruined. Okay, and that's a good time for me to take a quick break and get another soda. Do you want another one, sweetie?
Yes, please.
That's fine.
Break time.
drinks. I need to get
Anaya's
some
still
too.
grabbing a drink.
I'm gonna grab one myself.
So the group was basically given a pigskin map of the surrounding territory.
Of the people who are around that might be of help or hindrance.
Uh-huh.
Let's get Anaia sniffing. Ouch, blood. What?
And it's getting hot stuff. Problem is, it's cold, yet the heaters keep kicking on. I should have grabbed 2 sets. Snapping 2 Slim Jim time.
Yeah.
Also, my worry, she says Gavin and the baby cries. Water is life.
I just got spoiled hard on Supernatural.
Why?
I haven't been able to watch season 13.
Oh.
And I just got spoiled hard.
So you got to catch up on
I
it? or
created a new character.
Someone dropped spoilers on you of what happened.
Yeah, worse than Mom's ever has. So I'm like pissed off now. What?
I created a character in World of Warcraft now that we have a High Mountain Tauren, which are moose basically.
Moose Tauren.
So my new moose, I named it and Squirrel. I always wanted to name it not Moose.
That's amazing. I made my fake character to be the love child between Cass and Sam. So far it's working.
I'm a demon fan.
I'm a Cass fan.
Cass, yeah, but Sam, no.
Sam,
He's
after
a whiny baby.
Yes, for me he is a whiny baby. I liked him a lot better in the earlier seasons. But after getting to know Jared through like conventions and Twitter and all that,
Knowing that he's not his character?
yeah, it's really hard to see him do serious things. Pants is falling down.
Maybe she's a riot.
Realizing that the whole bunch of them are all freaking awesome. Which, that's probably why the show is so great, because the guys themselves, they're all freaking awesome dudes.
They are all freaking awesome dudes. It's just really hard to watch Sam.
Yeah.
Startle me.
Jeez.
Jeez, now you know to keep your
Thanks
situational
for them,
awareness
but
going.
jeez. Why'd you have to throw it at me?
Because you were way over there.
You weren't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it wouldn't hurt you. Calm down.
You gotta aim better. Okay, so
Alright.
you've been given the map, so you have the map that will help give you advantage on survival rolls in this area.
Yay.
Looks something like this, with a lot more topography on it.
And pig.
Yes, in pigskin. Yes, it glows green. Under
Tastes
the
like pork.
Everything's better with bacon.
Okay, so as you guys are heading north, are you guys trying to be quiet on the trail? Or are you
Yes.
stopping like, okay, so you are trying to be quiet?
Someone's trying to be quiet.
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying as fuck to be quiet.
Go
I'm
ahead.
just being natural.
Everyone give me a stealth roll. Be mindful of your armor if it gives you advantage or disadvantage. Yep.
If it gives you a disadvantage, what does it do?
Basically, you roll twice and you take the suckier of the 2 rolls. But this is going to be a group roll. So basically, oh my god.
So I got 18 plus 5.
So this is a
Walk away.
survival?
Stealth.
Stealth. Okay, so stealth.
So I
Yeah,
got 23.
So I got a 15.
So we got a 15 and a 23. What did you get?
Because
You're the
I don't get a
tiebreaker.
negative.
You could save the group right now.
I guess that's a no.
I got a 5.
And she got
And the
one.
druid rolled a 1.
I
the
have
druid.
chainmail. I don't do quiet.
Dude, can I just be
I
quiet
have
away from
scale
you?
mail, but I'm a mountain dwarf, which means I don't take a negative for my. I have no armor.
So,
I rolled a 4 and a 3.
you guys
Mountain
position
dwarf
yourself.
armor proficiency.
You're right around here walking towards me. You're walking this way.
Can I
Position yourself how you would be when
Where
you're...
I'm getting like, is it a path with brush along the side?
It's woods just like the picture here. It's
Okay.
exactly like this.
So I'm
I'm
not going out of my
feeling-
way to find sticks and step on them.
Apparently.
And I'm tripping over every stick.
And I am going tree to tree to tree.
I'm like
Fine.
not prepared for
I am a
this.
shadow. You cannot see me.
So go ahead and put yourselves where you'd like to be in the middle band section
right
here.
there. That's where I am. In the goddamn trees.
Well, the trees are these things. These are the trees.
Is that a
That's
tree?
grass.
Okay,
That's
I
just grass. So you're like right there hiding.
Okay, there. I'm
So
hiding
spread
behind a
yourselves
tree.
out amongst where you are.
So the two who are making noise seem to be in the front.
Mike
Okay.
C and I tend to be in the same.
Well, let's see. Let's get you
I
out
have
of
a
that
feeling I'm
tree.
tripping over those sticks you're stepping on.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
like,
like, ooh, crack.
Okay.
and I'm like, oh god, no. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. I gave it
What'd you give to carry?
my little.
Oh.
Because
One
she
way or
got
another.
all.
What?
I will get to the peanut one way or another.
Luckily for you guys, all of a sudden you guys are walking, clanking, making noise, and all of a sudden at once, as opposed to them rolling surprise on you and ambushing you horribly for a full round of having you guys at their complete and total advantage, all of a sudden you realize you're fucking surrounded. Somebody must have coughed or something.
Or stomped on
And
every piece
No,
of toilet.
I'm not talking you guys.
Oh,
I'm
them.
talking all of a sudden you hear achoo, and then grumbly sound like all around you that you're surrounded.
Shut the fuck up.
Because one of they rolled stealth really
They sneezed
badly.
and they all said bless you.
Yeah. As you realize,
Like, you know how that happens in real life?
Yeah.
You get like 8
Why is
people
he
saying
laying
bless you.
down?
well, he was high. Oh no, lay him down. Okay, he's prone.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
That's what happened.
Sorry.
That's how they got known.
One of them was having.
Forgot to turn their cell phone.
Somebody sent a message in instant messenger and everybody's phones went
No, that was the alarm for to give Bonico his medicine, but I need to take that out because he doesn't take that medicine anymore.
So everybody go ahead and roll initiative. Since everyone gets to roll initiative instead of an ambush round, I mean, I was going to have this great ambush round, and
I rolled 20.
9.
Wait, and then there's
16.
yeah, it's 9.
Because it's been a while since I've done this. It's since
Wait.
I have +3. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a thingy on here for that.
yeah, so plus
Okay.
1.
10.
10. Good to know, because you're breaking a tie then.
17 with my initiative.
And you hear this orc crying like a child in the distance.
Bitch ass is going down.
Oh, I'll give you something to cry about.
Okay, so it is our fighter's turn. The gladiator senses that she's surrounded. As all of a sudden she had this flashback to when she was a small child being given away to gladiator arenas. and she smelled this slave master who's half orc.
Oh.
And she catches a whiff
Oh my
of
God.
orc, and it pulls her out of her screaming child vision. Or maybe not. Maybe one of the orcs pinched a baby. Maybe they're eating a baby.
Alright, who do
Maybe
I
they're
see?
making a baby. Well, since the orcs did not
I
make
didn't
their
think they
stealth
could have
roll,
orcs.
you are aware of every orc on that map. You don't rightly see them completely, but you're aware that you are surrounded and there are people there, and they're gruff, and they're tusky, and they're mouthing grumpily.
Well, apparently I think going after the biggest, baddest one is going to make all the other ones stand down for my awesome research
Yeah.
at the town. So which one looks like they're in charge?
Are you going to take a second and do a perception roll to pull in everything?
What does that do?
Basically means you're wasting your action doing a perception action. Or do you
No.
want to just charge off and hit something?
I'll just charge off and hit the one that's in front of me.
Okay.
That one that's closest to you? Yeah, the one
Okay.
Anaia's touching.
Touchy, touchy.
That's not me.
Don't touch me.
I was turning you around.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Well, yeah, I have to get all... I have to...
That's a tree. So
Oh,
yes, you have
okay.
to walk around the tree to get to it.
Oh, that's dumb. Alright.
You're just afraid.
But they're all kind of behind trees, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, that's why you walked right up on them. They were like,
Bless
we'll
you.
we'll get an attack round on them, and then all of a sudden you guys end up freaking doing that. You're like, well, shit, we were gonna do all kinds of cool things, like our aggressive thing that lets us move our speed twice and stuff.
Whatever game that kid is playing, he doesn't like it.
It's literally a baby.
There's a baby.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm being.
She's just funny.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you knew it was actually a baby.
Yeah,
no,
no, like at one point the
I
baby
get
was just
that.
crawling around on the floor.
I couldn't get to the register because I was like, there's a baby on the floor this way, and there's a baby on the floor this way, but I can't get to the register!
So you're dashing off into the trees to attack the nearest orc.
Gavin thought it would be quieter out there.
I know, right?
Well, he probably went out there too because it was cooler.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's got the headphones on, so you know.
I'm gonna just attack it, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and swing your mighty weapon.
Swing!
Bada, bada, bada.
17.
That
and,
will hit.
Swing it, a baby
That will
sounds
hit.
in the background.
How do I not do that? Oh, there it is. 2
I gotta
plus.
like print out all my spells.
What's 17 plus 4?
That'd be 21.
That's what I rolled.
And that still hits.
Sweet.
Go ahead and roll for damage as you swing your weapon. Prepare to feel the glory.
8 plus strength, yes?
Yes?
So, 10.
Ooh. You swing your hammer and crack it into him. He is not dead though.
He's crying like a little baby, though.
Yeah. As you literally hit him so hard, his face is just completely smashed on one side.
Like some teeth fall out.
Well, actually, one of his tusks knocked out, and eyes like.
So, like, I
swollen
did a
shut.
significant amount of damage to
You
him.
did.
So, is it okay if I go ahead and waste my action surge to hit him again?
You could follow up with a backhand on that.
From that screaming, it's no!
So you come up and you swing when you get around that tree, and all of a sudden, when you realize it doesn't work, you swing back and you come in and you bring it right down. What is that? 20?
Natural 20.
And you basically smash the orc into the ground.
Oh, he's really gonna be crying now.
Oh, no, there's no crying anymore.
Oh.
Well done!
So, dwarf, you just saw the tiefling put an orc down like an orc should be put down. Dead.
I was like, take that, you slaver fuck!
Okay,
Kind of reminded you of your old slaver too.
I can get to that one over there.
This one?
If I go
5,
diagonally.
10, 15, 20,
25, there we go.
Faster you can take them down, the better the
I'm going
chance
to
we
hit
have
him with
of
my
not
warhammer.
dying.
Okay, swing, hammer swing.
Apparently, I am not going to do well. I got a 7.
Okay, so you go up there and you swing, but there's like a clump of wet moss. And the orc just seems to be looking at you. And the sad thing is, when you look at this orc, you notice the mini. He's kind of paler than the others. Maybe he's only half orc. You almost see like some dwarvish look to the nose on it. And it throws you off.
No. There are no half dwarves.
Book says orcs can mate with dwarves now.
What? When did that happen?
It's in the book.
I'm not a part of this.
Okay, so you swing your hammer and you miss. Because it just does this like, whoa! Especially since it saw this. It saw its friend get dropped in 2 swings with a big hammer. When you came swinging your little hammer, he dove back.
He noped his way back.
Well, it's the dwarf body makes the hammer look littler. It's a trick of the light.
Okay, if you say so.
Okay, so then it's the bard's turn. Now
Okay.
you can call the bard a bard, not a rogue bard.
I know.
Or bard rogue.
I want to use one of my things.
You have things.
I kind of want to use Tasha's biggest laughter.
Because
Hey.
it already makes you laugh.
Well, doesn't it make you laugh so uncontrollably?
You can't pretty much do
You're
it.
basically immobilized.
I want to mobilize somebody so it's the people who can actually cause damage can kill it.
Who would you like to cast it on? You see this guy crawling out from under a log.
See, he's
this guy
already rolling
crawling
on the
over
floor.
a log.
You just got to give him the laughing part now.
Okay.
Get it? Rolling on the floor, laughing out loud.
That's terrible. I probably want to go for the one standing because he seems like he would cause more
This
trouble.
one?
So
Okay.
how do I do this? Because I gotta print out.
You'll need your spell. Here, let me go ahead and I'll open the spell book.
Where did it go?
Andy?
Yes.
Foot? Apparently my pink orb
It's on the other side.
It went all the way over there.
It
You rolled
likes
a
you.
21.
It likes you.
About time she's breaking in the dice. I will find the spell for you. It's right there.
Okay.
So,
Sorry. Okay. Is he within my range?
what is the range?
30 feet.
You're gonna have to do like a little step this way so you can see him. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so you have to step that way.
How about the ones behind?
I'm sorry.
No, let me see.
Oh, is it the one turn?
That's lame.
It's funny.
But it's
so
totally
legit.
legit.
Yes. Just
Okay, so where I
it.
was, are the ones behind me closer to them? Those guys?
No.
When you were
He
here,
does look
Yeah, when I
like,
was there. Are they
yes,
closer?
they're slightly closer.
Then let's go for the closer ones.
It's totally an F
So you'll step here so you can see this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does your spell do? Now, by the way, you did probably want to spend 50 gold for a component belt. It
Okay.
has all your magical components. It says that you'll need them already there, except
Okay.
for like really ridiculous expensive things.
The
Okay.
bard doesn't usually need it. All they need is a musical instrument or...
That's true, but did she buy a musical instrument?
I have a lute.
You have a lute? Okay,
Dude,
good.
that's-
So,
I'm
so the
trying to
lute
push
is...
the whole bard thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Primarily
so
bards
does that
are
mean you have your
spoken
lute
or
out
voice or...
exposed? Because you'll need to like...
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't have a choice. So.
Okay.
Dun, dun.
That'll
Rock and
work.
roll.
So you can read it out loud.
Yeah. Okay. So casting time 1 action, 30 feet. Components VSM.
That's voice,
Both
Somatic.
somatic and a component.
Okay. Concentration up to 1 minute. Creature of your choice that you see within range perceives everything as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter. The
Musical
target
instruments,
must succeed a wisdom saving
Huh?
throw or
That
fall
is
prone,
musical
becoming
instruments.
incapacitated
Well, no, it's material.
and unable to stand for the duration. A creature with an intelligence score of 4 or less isn't affected. I'm hoping these things at least have a 5 intelligence.
Yes, you know orcs
Well, yeah,
are
they speak
they're
the
people.
language, so...
Yeah,
Okay.
they're people. They're
So
They
at
have
the
a
end of
culture.
its turn, at end of its turn, each time it takes damage, the target can make another Wisdom saving throw. The target has advantage on saving throws if it's triggered by damage. On a success, the spell ends. So I don't know. I guess he's got to do a Wisdom saving
He's
throw.
got to make a wisdom saving throw against yours, which is, I believe, 13, right?
Actually no. Well,
Your spell DC.
Oh, that was a natural 20.
It was 8 plus your proficiency plus your charisma.
well, my charisma is +3.
And your +2, so yes, it's 13. Okay.
Here you go.
So he needs to roll a 13 or higher wisdom. By the way, orcs, they're just blasé when it comes to wisdom. He fails his save. And immediately, you make some kind of gesture to him, and he just literally starts chuckling. And you know what the worst part is? As you make your gesture, he looks over here where the orc just got splattered and just starts laughing. And cackling, and this weird guttural laugh just starts echoing out. And it's almost just under contagious laughter that would be affecting others.
Yeah.
This guy's looking at him like, what the hell are you laughing at? Now, for you, remember, it is a concentration spell, so you can't cast any more magic.
I'm not planning to, but it says I have a cunning action, bonus action. Can I hide? I can concentrate, but can I step back? I would have line of sight.
As long as you hide and still can see him.
Okay, well, I'm just kind of edging around the tree so that one doesn't see me.
Okay, so you're going... Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
So that way, if it's under its passive, that they'll see it.
15?
Oh, yeah, they're not going to see you. Anyone that wasn't directly looking at you does not know you're even there.
Okay.
I don't think he can hear you.
No, he can't.
Oh. Okay, so you cast it, and he is just... It's painful to listen to. And that's a great place to wrap it up there. Hey guys, Jim from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition here, and I want to thank you for taking the time to check out our Kickstarter. For the last 4 years, we've been having a blast gaming and sharing convention panels that we've been part of on our 3 podcasts. And now we're looking to get you to join us in our fun and games. For 2018, we're looking to try a few new things and want to send out a call to action to all our listeners. With your support on this Kickstarter, we'll be able to give you not only a better show, but also extra perks because, well, we really care about our listeners and want to give you the best of what we've got. After all, we listen to our show too. In 2018, we definitely want to up our game and bring a few new features like having more livecast games, as well as gaming on Roll20 and Google Hangout. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to reach out to us at facebook.com/Creative Plan Podcast Network. Let us know if you're interested in doing anything. All right, guys. Like always, thank you for listening.
Down in the depths of the mountain, we dwarves spend our time forging powerful weapons, mining precious gems and metals, and feasting like kings. But after a day of digging for the next Arkenstone, this dwarf likes to come home to a package full of loot. Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service forged specifically for RPG and tabletop gamers. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handcrafted items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. So are you brave enough to reward yourself with a Dungeon Crate? By Morden's beard, I hope so. DungeonCrate.com. Let the adventure begin.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And remember, be careful out there. There be dragons about.